What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have a counterpunch concerning Keith Thurman and Tank Davis. We all know that Floyd Money Mayweather, and Leonard Ellerbe has made statements about Tank Davis fighting Keith Thurman. I know it's a few days old. It's nothing new. And people ask me, what do I feel about it? What do I feel about Keith Thurman taking on Tank Davis? First off, I think that the money is important in-house. I think the question would be more for how would Tank do against Lomachenko? How would Tank do against Ryan Garcia? How would Tank do with a smaller but better welterweight like Terrence Crawford? Okay. When I hear things like Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd calling out Keith Thurman, I think to myself, how convenient. How convenient for you all to call and to make this so-called challenge for Tank Davis with Keith Thurman. Why Keith Thurman of all people? Because Keith Thurman has nothing to really gain being beat again. If Tank could outbox Keith Thurman or win or come out on top on Keith Thurman has nothing to, there's nothing that concerns them about Keith Thurman as far as losing credibility, because he's already got that O gone. That one time has happened, one time with Manny Pacquiao. Okay? And you can think of the fights that I've just mentioned are far better fights than Keith Thurman. More realistic fights in turn, or more reasonable fights for Tank Davis. You know, as far as like competition. And I'm not saying Keith Thurman's a slouch. I'm not saying Tank Davis would beat Keith Thurman. What I'm saying is Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe making up this type of challenge, a made-up challenge, because they're trying to keep money in-house. Keith Thurman is a PBC fighter. He fights on Showtime and PBC Fox. He's an Al Heyman fighter. So is Tank Davis. He's a Mayweather fighter. They're all pretty much under the same umbrella. Okay, so that is a way you keep money in-house. Okay? And again, you don't hear him talking about fighting one of the best pound-for-pound fighters either, or a fighter that's his age, or a fighter that's his weight class. You don't hear that. You don't hear him talking about Ryan Garcia. You heard that one time, and it was like a hint to get everybody revved up that Leonard Ellerbe mentioned. But now you see he's changing his tune. You mentioned Ryan Garcia, but then that's that. Now all of a sudden, you talk about a fighter that's in a totally different weight class. Counterpunch. Okay? That is a way you keep everything in-house. You keep everything in-house by simply hyping up your fighters and creating possible fights for your fighters. And as far as Tank Davis, as much fighters that they can, he's already at 140. They're like, okay, he can come up, or they can issue a catch weight for those two. So maybe 144. You know? And that way, Tank doesn't have to go up to a full welterweight, something that Manny used to do, okay? And he was successful doing that with like Mayweather and Cotto and other fighters that he defeated. So why not Tank Davis? The only difference is you keep all the money in-house. That's easy. It's safe. Okay? You don't have to worry about Garcia and Golden Boy and guys that, like, you don't have to worry about those type of fighters or those type of fights. They don't ever have to make those type of fights, especially with Lomachenko. Lomachenko's on his way out. You think he's going to get the opportunity to whoop up on Tank, young, fresh, driven, future made-up fighter like Tank Davis? They're building this man's resume. They're padding this resume, so to speak. You think they got time to do those type fights? No. Keith Thurman is a best bet because he's been beaten. So if he gets beat again, they won't lose money. They ain't going to pull that shit with Errol Spence now, will they? No, because Errol Spence is a moneymaker. He has an undefeated record. They're not going to do that unless the stakes are too high. Keith Thurman got his choice or his chance at greatness by Manny Pacquiao. He came up short, just a bit, okay? I think a knockdown away from winning that fight with Pacquiao, okay? So yes, that's why that fight is created, because it's in-house money, it's safe, okay? It's convenient, okay? And it's a way for Tank to look even better if he wins. But anyway, that's my take on Tank Davis or Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Money Mayweather calling out Keith Thurman for Tank Davis. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.